D-Day on, or what is it? Whatever. I ruined it. I ruined it.
Forget
it.
Forget it. Just abort that joke.
Abort. I like to abort now. Thank you.
Welcome to the Goomba Stomp podcast. I'm Stephan, and today we got Leeper.
Sup?
Tyler Tews.
Hello.
And Jose El Mexicano.
Hi.
He's enthused. He's happy to
be here.
Happy to be here. All right, well, today we're going to just kind of jump right into it. We're going to be talking some Halo 4. All right, starting off with weapons. They got assault rifle, magnum, battle rifle, DMR. So they got both the battle rifle and the DMR in this one, so that's kind of cool. Jose, are you a BR DMR guy?
BR all the way.
BR, old school, keep it classic.
Yeah, man. Like there were so many tricks behind that. It was ridiculous. Like you could do the BXB, BXY, the BXR with the sniper. I don't know. I love all those old tricks that you could use to learn and do.
Yeah. Personally, I'm a DMR guy just for, I don't know, I just found it, I like the one shot more than the 3-round burst, but that's why they have both for, it's a very split community.
Yeah, well now that they're going like Call of Duty way, but, with all the loadouts and all that stuff, they need to fill in the assault rifle area, so
exactly.
That's a good smart decision on their part, I guess.
Continuing in the UNSC list, we got rockets, shotgun, sniper. So pretty much the standards. Then we got, for a couple new weapons, we got sticky detonator, which is basically the best way to describe. It's pretty much C4, but what it is you shoot it still, and it's kind of like the grenade launcher from Halo Reach, but it sticks to whatever surface you shoot it at, so it's not a bounce. And then you can let go of the trigger, so you could switch to another weapon, and that'll stay there at that spot, so it's almost like a mine or something. And you can switch to another weapon, do your thing, or get in a vehicle, or however you want to do it, and then switch back, and then press the trigger again, and it blows up. So I could see a lot of tactical use for that. I mean, you could put it on your own vehicle, and then basically suicide bomb somebody, or any that kind of stuff.
Can you stick it to people?
Yes.
Easy.
Leeper is happy. You can stick it to people.
I remember is in Time Splitters when you throw a mine at somebody and the computer would freak out.
Yeah.
That's like a cartoon character running away.
Yeah. So you can stick it to people and then wait till he runs towards his teammates and blow it up. There's tons. I mean, if you want to get tactical with it and defensive, you could use it for area denial and block doorways and stuff like that. So it has a lot of uses, I think, and I'm pretty excited to use that.
Are you guys I don't know. I feel like the way they're changing the meta of the game, just the way it plays, the way you just react to the game, very, very different from what it came from when it started with.
Oh yeah.
Like Halo 2, like when you ever played multiplayer, you had the battle rifle and you had the pistol. That's what that was what you got, right? Well, now you get to do all this weird stuff. I don't know. I feel really weird whenever I watch games like this evolve and just open up the whole the tray of all the weaponry you can play with.
Yeah, they definitely are expanding the sandbox like insane. I think especially in this game, it seems like they are. I feel like they have more weapons than ever before, and they have a lot of weapons that do similar stuff but hold different purposes, and we'll get into that with the Promethean weapons, because they're all pretty much copies of something before, but they have like a, something that makes them unique.
They have a twist.
Yeah. pretty much.
But a twist.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it definitely feels like, to me, Halo was always the more simplistic shooter. And
Yeah,
that's
now they're
not,
just making it really complex and weird.
yeah, and that's not a knock to it. I just think it was, it was simplistic, but it was a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
now it seems like they're just trying to, you know, add so much depth to it, almost like a Call of Duty and stuff. And I don't know how that's gonna work for Halo, but I guess we'll
Well,
find out.
this kind of works for like gamers. I don't know, competitive gamers. Nowadays with League of Legends, you have to like follow the meta. You got to have the right build. With StarCraft, you have to have the right micro or macro. I forget that terminology, but like I don't know. I feel the gamers nowadays need something really complex and hard, so we can actually find it hardcore and actually want to play it every single day. And it's getting really weird.
Yeah,
Not gonna
definitely.
lie.
um, One other and another new weapon for the UNSC is the saw, which is that's a gun, and it's pretty much your standard light machine gun where it's very powerful, slow on the reload, etc. And so yeah, that one just feels like ripped right out of another game. So that's kind of interesting that they put that because I mean obviously a lot of the Halo weapons are standard fare, especially the human weapons. It makes sense that they're realistic type weapons, but I just think it's funny that they included the saw. I don't know.
Just out of nowhere, it's kind of
Yeah.
like the regular shotgun.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, not at
exactly.
all. And then the Spartan laser, which isn't new, and they also have one other new gun is called the rail gun. It's basically a one shot destroys somebody. It has like a charge to it, kind of like the Spartan laser, but it's not like a something you can shoot across the map or anything. I don't think from what I saw. It's like a close to medium range, and yeah, you charge it up for like 3 seconds, and it instantly fires, I believe. So it's not like something you can charge and hold like a plasma pistol. It's something like the Spartan laser where it charges and then blasts on its own.
Yeah, when I
So,
saw that, I thought it was gonna be like the needle gun from I think was it Fear 1.
oh
You
man,
can
I
like
never
needle
played
people into
that.
like the walls and stuff like that. That's what I was hoping for. I was like, oh, do I get to like stack this or get this guy's head stuck on the wall with this
Oh
needle?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
I
Nope.
remember that.
oh man, now it reminds me of Crackdown that had a gun like that, the harpoon
Oh
gun.
yeah, the harpoon one. Yeah,
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
should have
Um,
that.
yeah. And then for Covenant, we got Storm Rifle, which is now it's their version of the assault rifle. I really don't know what the difference is. I think it eats shields a lot faster rather than kills them. So that would be a good way to take down people's shields for like a one-shot DMR battle rifle type of deal. Um, Carbine is the same as previous games. It's rapid fire, so you can keep pressing it fires as fast as you can press the trigger, but it's slower rate of kill time, so it takes like 8 shots compared to the battle rifle's 5 or DMR 5 or whatever it is. Fuel rod gun, which is their rocket launcher, but it bounces. Needler, plasma pistol, sword, concussion rifle from Reach. Beam rifle's back, so I'm glad to have that back. I missed that sniper. They didn't have it in Reach. And the hammer from the Brutes. I guess it's called in the video that we watched. It was called on-field pickup. So I guess they're claiming the hammer as theirs now. I don't know. They probably just wanted it in the game without having to say it's from the Brutes. I'm not sure.
Could have been a placement holder name too.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing really new from the Coveys except for Storm Rifle, which, like I said, that just seems like their version of the assault rifle. Because I think, like I said, they're trying to give each faction, so to speak, each race their own set of guns, so that kind of mimic each other but have a different feature to them. Starting off with the Prometheans, you see this a lot. The light rifle is basically a DMR mixed with a BR. So when you're not scoped in, it's a battle rifle 3-shot. When you are scoped in, it's a DMR 1-shot. So it's kind of like a combination of them. So I think that would be kind of interesting. I'm not sure about the rate of fire or any of that kind of stuff, but
Well, Borderlands kind of does something like that too, a lot.
yeah, where
Oh yeah, it does.
does something where you're not scoped in and then different when you are scoped in type of deal.
Yeah, double tap or whatever.
Gotcha. Then it's a scatter shot, which is their shotgun, and it bounces off the ground, so you can bounce it off. It scatters, and you bounce it off walls or bounce it off the ground, etc. So that could be really interesting. I know one of the armor abilities in the game is a shield, which is replacing armor lock, and it's basically just a light shield, but it has a little gap where your feet are, so you could essentially bounce it under the shield and kill the guy. In theory, I don't know if that works or not. Then we got the bolt shot, which is, I missed the suppressor, and that's their suppressor's their assault rifle. To me, it didn't look anything too great. Bolt shot, which is their pistol, and it's single fire pistol as usual, but then it has a secondary fire, which is if you hold down the trigger, it's like a plasma pistol, but it charges up for like 3 seconds maybe, and then shoots like a shotgun. So you can hit them close range with it like a shotgun, and it'll be a one-shot kill. So that would be interesting. But like I said, the charge is 3 seconds, and it's an instant charge, so you can't just hold it down and then walk around a corner and shotgun somebody. So that'll be interesting, I guess. Incinerator cannon, which is their rocket launcher. The cool thing about that gun is you shoot it, and once it hits like a surface, be it a ceiling or a ground or whatever, and if anybody gets hit by that initial shot, then they incinerate into ash. But 5 little tiny like embers or something come falling out of that, and if anybody gets hit by any of those 5, they incinerate. So you can really get like a pretty good, double kill or triple kill or overkill. And lastly, binary rifle, which is their sniper rifle. And the thing that makes this interesting, it's a one-shot kill, but to help balance that, so it's not just like crazy. So you can't just snipe somebody in the foot all the time, which you can, but it only comes with 6 shots, so it's the least amount of bullets that any of the guns, any of the other snipers come with, I should say. And when you're scoped in, or when you're not scoped in, it's like a shotgun, almost like you cannot no scope somebody with it because the reticle's so big. So it's like you could probably hit them if they're point blank, but you're not going to be no scoping somebody 30 feet away. And finally, it has a laser coming out of it while you're scoped in, like a Spartan laser, so it gives away your position.
Laser.
So yeah, it's an interesting assortment of weapons. Definitely, I think you said it, Jose, that the fact that they have loadouts means they got to have all these different weapon variety, and I think it'll be really interesting to play out because, as you said, it's getting a lot more complex and a lot less like simplified, like Halo used to be. Now you have like 3 weapons that essentially do the same thing, but they all have little, tiny adjustments that make them different for different situations, and it's weird.
Yeah, little quirks.
Sure.
I just feel like they're taking every first-person shooter gun and just trying to cram it all into one game.
Yeah.
I mean, who better to do it than Halo, though?
Yeah, exactly. They'll do it right, though. They'll all play really well. It'll be pretty sweet to see all the new weapons.
If anything, they'll make it look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The weapons look awesome. They look like a lot of fun from that trailer that they showed. All right, well, let's get into loadouts. Speaking of weapons, now you can have loadouts, and you can start out with any weapon you want. Well, I mean, not any weapon, but any starter weapon that you should be able to start out with. Your primary choices are assault rifle, DMR, BR, carbine, suppressor, light rifle, and storm rifle. So all of your typical things that basically everybody's assault rifle or battle rifle variant, to make it simpler. And then secondary, you can choose magnum, plasma pistol, or bolt shot. So once again, just a pistol. And for grenades, you have your frags, your plasmas, or you can choose one pulse grenade. And what the pulse grenade is, it's Promethean grenade, and because they got to have their own variant of the grenade too, of course. And what it does is you throw it out, and it goes up into the air almost like it bounces off a surface, and I think it goes into the air from what I've seen. And it has like a field around it, almost like the power drain from Halo 3, except for it takes your shields down a lot slower, so it's not like as crazy as that. And what it does is it has a final burst to it, like a final little wave burst, that anything that's touching that field, like in that field, will incinerate. So once again, you could get a crazy kill with that. It's another seemingly area of denial weapon where you can just throw it in a doorway and kind of hold people back a little bit.
Tell you what, those Promethean weapons just seem like really powerful weapons.
Yeah.
This game. They're going to be crazy.
I mean, I'm sure they'll all be balanced. I don't see them, making them too crazy, but
it just seems like they're more versatile than all the other weapons. They all seem to have kind of a second function.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, I see what you're saying. They're definitely interesting for sure. They're unlike any of the other weapons that they're already there. Like I said, they're kind of clones of weapons that are already there, but they all have their own function to them, so it's kind of neat. All right, let's get into armor abilities. Have you seen anything about armor abilities, Jose?
No, I haven't seen anything.
Oh man, they're bringing back armor abilities basically from Reach, which it's kind of controversial. Some people like them, some people don't. One good thing is they'll have classic playlists for people that don't want to use that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's good.
And there won't be armor lock.
So,
That's even better.
But yeah, they don't have armor lock this time. That's one thing that they didn't bring back because they just said it was broken. It slows down gameplay, and they didn't like that. So
Really?
yeah, and it really didn't have a trade off to it. Like that's what I listened to their podcast that they put out, and they said, and it's a good point. They didn't really have every armor ability has kind of a trade off. Like yeah, it gives you this ability, but like the jetpack, you can go up high into the air and get up to multiple levels at a time, but you're really exposed, and you can't hide anywhere, obviously.
Yeah.
Whereas the armor lock, you went down into armor lock, you could get rid of any sticky grenades on you, you couldn't be harmed by anything, and an EMP came out. Like the only trade-off is you couldn't move, but I mean that's very minor. Anyways, they got a hard light shield, which I already explained. You walk around with this light shield that lasts for a little bit, and it's invulnerable, but it's only on your front. You literally hold it out in front of you, so you can still get grenaded from the side or the back and stuff. So you're not completely invincible with that, which is kind of neat. And anything that's shot at you is reflected back, so that also kind of adds for some interesting situations. If you block like a tank shot, it'll shoot backwards. That'd be kind of neat. Hologram, they're bringing that back, except for they're making it a little bit more useful. When you send out a hologram, it shows on the other person's radar as an enemy. Like in Reach, I think it was gray on people's radar, so it kind of defeated the whole purpose. Not much else to that I can think of. Promethean Vision is probably the biggest addition, and that's basically X-ray vision. You can see through walls and stuff, and it scans through the level really quickly. It's like a 3-second thing. It doesn't last very long, but it scans through the whole level, and it highlights enemies very faintly in red, so you can kind of see through it. It has a long recharge time, so it can't be too abused, but it's definitely interesting that Halo would bring something like this into it.
Well, it'll definitely make things interesting, though, because it kind of gives you, as long as you use it right, it kind of gives you the drop on someone coming around a corner, which I think is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to know when someone's coming around the corner before they know you're there, which would be kind of cool. But yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing they have a longer recharge. It doesn't last very long though, because that's definitely one of those things that would be way overused otherwise.
Yeah, and it could also be used for anti-camping in that regard.
Let me ask you this: How does one use it the wrong way? Do you use it to look at Spartan's shorts or?
Me personally,
yes,
a few times. I'm gonna be honest, but
don't you judge me.
Who are you, sir?
You don't know me, sir.
Right way, so I want to know what the wrong way was. Just to really say what's right and wrong.
Stephan, apparently.
I don't know. It's a good question. Thank you for your intelligent contribution.
He says nothing to the entire podcast, and then when he finally speaks, that's what he comes up with.
I was speaking earlier with the weapons.
Leeper speaks in jokes. Then you got the thruster pack, which is basically this game's evades. They don't have the evade anymore because apparently it lessened your hitbox, I guess people say. So it made people harder to shoot in that regard.
It removed the top layer, though, with your chest and your head.
Yeah.
So I can see why.
Yeah, exactly. And also, the difference between the thruster pack is you go into like third person view, so it can also be used to see behind you for like a split second while you're in thruster pack. It's just basically like another quick evade, but it's just a thruster. Now you don't roll or anything, so your hitbox doesn't change, so it's less, broken in that regard. And you can only do one thrust per giggity. You can only do one thrust with it per charge, so then you got to recharge for a couple seconds in between, so you can't just like roll this way then roll that way anymore. Now you just kind of thrust to the side, and then you have to wait a little bit and then thrust another way. So that can be used pretty well to get like around corners or to get to cover a little faster.
Oh, I'm good at thrusting. Don't worry, I got that.
Yeah, you got that down pat.
I usually only need one thrust and I'm good.
Well, they must have modeled it right after you.
One thrust. Let's go.
One thrust and then recharge.
Don't worry, it'll be quick.
Oh, baby. Oh, wait, give me a second.
You got a 12-hour cooldown. You got to wait.
Like, call me in the morning.
Yeah.
Don't call me in the morning, please.
Let's watch some television for a while.
Oh man.
The jetpack is brought back, but they nerfed it a little bit, so now you can't just like fly, 50 feet up into the air and float for 3 seconds and then finally come back down. Now it's more like half the height that Reach offered, so you can still get up a level, but now you're not going to be going to like the top of the level in one burst or anything. And it has, like I said, less fuel to it, and it feels a little heavier, so you don't take off as quickly. So it's not like you're running and then you just instantly fly way up into the air. It kind of like takes off slowly and then goes up. So I think that's nicer. I'm part of the group that thinks the jetpack was one of my least favorite, like gameplay wise. If I'm going to be competitive, I don't care for the jetpack just for the fact that I think it kind of contradicts map design.
I didn't like the jetpack or armor lock. I hated them both equally.
I hated the whole idea behind armor abilities, I guess. Yeah. Even the running part, I hate it.
Yeah, and that's just it. I always use sprint. I mean, not always, but in most, 99% of the time I'm using sprint. So I didn't care for them. I used either sprint or evade just because I think those are things that, those are practical things that you could see in a game like this. I think jetpack and armor lock and the fact that camo was a armor ability, I just didn't care for it personally. Hopefully they do it a lot better balancing in this one.
They're gonna have to with all these options. It's gonna be hard for them to do it too.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
And that's why they made sprint. They said that's why they made a sprint default now. So now you can just sprint anytime. It doesn't have to be an armor ability anymore. Is because everyone, like a huge part of the audience would use sprint and only sprint, and they were missing out on all the armor abilities. Well, that should say something.
Yeah.
Sprint's what we want. We don't, all these other things, they're fun, but when it comes to actual like competitive play, when you're trying to have a well-balanced game, it just seems like it's a rock, paper, scissors almost. Like, okay, this person chose a better armor ability for the situation, but, how the hell do you predict that?
But like you said, I think they realize that and they respect that, and that's why they give you the option to have just a stripped-down game mode.
Yeah.
For those who really just don't want that.
Yeah. And then they got the auto sentry, so you can auto sentry kind of like forms around you, and you can put it in an air. It's in the air. It doesn't follow you or anything. It just stays there, and I think it takes like 4 shots to take out. So it's nothing like too powerful. It's not like a turret or anything, but it's something that if you were shooting at a guy and your auto sentry was shooting at the guy, it gives you enough of an advantage to make a difference. But if it's left on its own and you come across an auto sentry, you're not gonna like die unless you really suck.
You just stand there like oh my god, what's hitting me?
Yeah. But
stop it.
Yeah, and there's some strategy that you could do with that if you place it in the right spots where it can't be as easily killed. So if you put it behind some cover or something, or you put it to guard a flag with like 4 other people in the room, yeah, definitely it would help out. Then you got active camo, which, like I said, I always felt in Reach that this should not be an armor ability, just for the fact that why take it off the map? It's so much better as just a pickup, a power up on the map, like classic Halo. It doesn't make any sense to make this something that people can just turn on and off at their, when they please.
Well, I feel like it just doesn't work as well either, because the second you move or get shot, you're seen again.
Well, not just that. It's that mainly it's used for camping, because you can just go and then say you're guarding the flag, and then people are coming in. You just look at your radar until they're about into the doorway. Then you turn on your active camo and just stand there, so you are completely invisible, and then you just wait for the perfect time to jump them. to me that just seems a little crazy. And more issues with it that people have said online is that a lot of people would go up on like a rock somewhere, like on Hemorrhage and stuff. They'd hide up on the rocks on the side and then active camo, and then when they would snipe you, so you couldn't see them before. Like, you wouldn't even have a chance of spotting them before they sniped you. So, yeah, that to me it just doesn't seem like it fits. But oh well. Hopefully they tweaked it enough to make a difference. And lastly, Regeneration Field, which is kind of like the regeneration from Halo 3, except for it's not as powerful. So now you're not going to be able to stand in there and then get completely shot at and keep getting healed up enough to just stay alive, like you're not even being hurt. I think in Halo 3 it took like a rocket or like getting stuck or something. It took basically a one-shot kill for you to die in a regeneration field. Or now, if you stand in the regeneration field that's presented here, it heals you. But if you're getting shot by like a DMR or BR while you're regenerating, it's not going to save your life. It's meant to heal quickly and get back into battle. It's not something you can stand in and just be invulnerable. So that's good, I guess. Wait, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out as well. I could just see 4 people with regeneration fields just putting them all together or something crazy. But I doubt they would stack it up like that. So if you stand in all 4 of them, you're just God or something. But yeah, so that's all the armor abilities. Any thoughts on any of those beyond what we just talked about?
I think they're gonna be pretty fun. I don't think they're gonna be like with Reach. I don't know, like with the armor lock, the jetpack. I just feel like it was just way too. It didn't play right. It kind of changed the fairness of the game. I thought like if you got stuck, bam, armor lock, and there goes your sticky grenade. Yeah. I feel like they're definitely gonna make things more even with these ones. They definitely seem more balanced out than Reach did.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited to see what they do with it, and if I don't like it, I always got the original game mode.
So what do you guys all think of the mech that they showed off?
I can't wait to teabag someone with that.
Well,
I've always hated vehicles in FPSs. I don't know why. I don't know. Halo's whatchamacallit, the Warthog sucked, and then having to play against the what's the flying one? I forget the flying thing.
Banshee?
The Banshee, yeah, the Banshee. That was always terrible having to deal with that crap. Especially when you didn't have rockets, you had like with a BR or a sniper. It's like, well, I'm gonna die. Fuck it.
So basically, you're not. So between Call of Duty and like Battlefield, you probably choose Call of Duty for that exact reason.
Yeah, unless I want to like troll people, and then I just jump on Battlefield and start planting C4 on the tank and leave it in bumfuck nowhere. And start exploding. He took my tank. Bam, you're dead.
There's just like a tank randomly in the most random place. Like, gee, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it's like it's a little bit burning, but it should be fine.
Yeah, I know. People in Battlefield would put all their like C4 onto the Humvee and then just drive it into an enemy base and blow it up.
They just launch themselves with all the mines.
Yeah, or they also did that with the little UAV helicopter thing that you could fly around in Battlefield.
Yeah.
You just fly that into an enemy. I've had that done to me, where you just fly it into an enemy base, and then all of a sudden you see that come through a doorway, this little tiny remote control helicopter looking thing with all this like, C4 on it. Yeah. You're like, what the hell is that? All right, well they got all these tactical packages and support upgrades, which are essentially perks. I don't think I want to go through them all, but you can pretty much imagine you got your. Some of them are really annoying for the fact that they changed the core of Halo's gameplay. And what I mean by that is one of them is the ability to pick up grenades off people's dead bodies. So now no longer you can't do that any longer unless you have that perk.
That sucks.
Wow.
Yeah, so now I mean everyone knows the Halo triangle is guns, melee, and grenades. And
throw grenades.
Yeah.
Is that guy hiding? Throw grenades.
Yeah.
No.
Nade out.
More grenades. Are you still alive? Throw a grenade at your feet and kill yourself. Win.
So yeah, and that really, I don't know. To me, that's just kind of crazy to do that. It seems like that's something you just make a perk to make another perk. Like, why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you make it so you can't take grenades off people's dead bodies? Just, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. I think I'll be using that because I love grenades, but there's so many other perks as well. Like, I mean, to go further, there's the ability to reload faster. So it's basically sleight of hand from Call of Duty. So all your guns reload a lot faster. Once again, I don't know. Like you said, I think Halo's going down. I'm not sure about this. I'm sure it'll be fun to play, but is it gonna feel like Halo after all? You know?
It'll be fun, but it's not gonna be Halo. And I mean, I don't know. I just think that no grenade thing is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all the Halos, I've never seen that as an issue.
Grenades are always an issue, though. That's the thing. If you ever watch like somebody compete on Halo, all you see is grenades. Like, oh, I'm gonna throw a grenade before I go walk into that area, or I'm gonna bounce this grenade on this area. You know, it's just a grenade fest. It's like Call of Duty's special grenades. Like when you have 4 or 3 of them and just start chucking them everywhere. It's like chuck. Okay, I didn't kill anybody, so let's start doing it again.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's probably plays into why they did that. It seems weird on the 5th game technically to change it like that, but
yeah, all of a sudden just start removing stuff.
Yeah. Another one is AA efficiency. So basically your armor ability increases the rate at which it recharges. So it means you say you're using Promethean Vision. I mean, it's not like a huge change. It's not like you're cutting seconds off. It's just like maybe 1 second. So your Promethean Vision, after you use it, it'll recharge 1 second faster. So that's another perk. They got Fast Track to gain experience faster. So that's basically people that want to level up faster, I guess. Firepower, which allows the primary... It allows the person to use in their loadout 2 primary weapons instead of a secondary. Once again, another kind of like Call of Duty one where instead of having, being forced to use a pistol as your secondary, you can use a BR and a DMR as your 2 starting weapons. So I could see that being used a ton by the more, higher level competitive players that just want to use, a BR and a DMR together or whatever. They got Gunner, which is kind of an interesting one where it increases the time of a weapon it decreases the time of your turret overheating. And it also makes you faster while holding a turret. So if you're walking around with a turret, you no longer walk slower, you walk at normal speed. So that's kind of neat. Like none of these, and that's the thing. A lot of these aren't really that, big of a deal. They're not changing the game that much, but when you figure that there's 9 of these, and then you add another 9 support pack, like you have tactical and you have support, so you have 9 of each, which essentially they do similar things. Like one in the tactical is the grenadier, where you can pick up grenades off dead body, like we said, but then they have one in support that goes along with it that you'd want to use in tandem with it, is that your grenades do a little bit more damage while you take less damage from grenades. So with all of that in mind, and they have so many of these things, like I said, it almost comes rock, paper, scissors. Like, say I do throw a grenade at that guy and I'm purposely trying to use it to weaken him to get one more shot off on his head if I land the grenade well enough. How do I know, that he isn't going to take less damage and then I'm completely screwed or something? I don't know. To me, it just seems like he has faster reloading. So if we start firing,
this damage. Look at this damage.
Yeah, and I don't know. It just seems. I don't know if I like it or not.
I feel like it's a bunch of Call of Duty fans making Halo.
Yeah, I like both the games, but why do they got to mix them together?
It's funny because Halo's trying to go Call of Duty's route, and Modern Warfare's trying to look more futuristic like Halo.
Exactly, and that's the funny thing. And another thing along those lines is that Halo switched to the progression system like Call of Duty does, where you just continually level up. You don't lose your level for losing, which Halo never had that until Reach. And Halo 4 has the same thing where you level up as you go instead of, you don't do 1 through 50 and rank up if you win, lose your rank if you lose type of thing. Whereas Call of Duty, I believe in Black Ops 2 now has the ranking up if you win and D-rank if you lose type of thing.
I mean, I understand why they went with the progression level. I mean, players like looking at things and like seeing actual progression on something instead of just that one little number they want to see there.
Yeah.
The bigger rank.
Yeah, and it definitely plays to the audience. I think the more, if you're getting into like MLG and stuff, they're all about the 1 through 50. They want to, they want that 50. They want to prove superiority and show off their skill in that regard. Whereas most people, that aren't part of that group just want to keep, I'm sure we've all been in the situation where we've played, 5 matches and got, like in Halo 2 or Halo 3, you play 5 matches and you get third or second and maybe like 1 first game. You don't rank up. And then you get 1 in like dead last because you have the worst game ever where nothing's working out for you. And then you just D-rank off of that.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, that just pisses me off. Like,
I just spent 5 games straight and you're like, oh, I'm going to rank. Nope, you D-ranked.
You guys just wait and see, though. We're going to play Black Ops, and our enemy's going to turn out to be the Covenant.
This is the start of Halo.
Maybe Halo 4 and Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is the same game, just with a different packaging and name.
It's the exact same game. They just changed the title.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm a little put off by it, but like I said, I'll give it a try and see how it goes. Like, I mean, they even have unlimited sprint as one of the tactical packages. See, a lot of these are just straight out of Call of Duty, and that's why it just seems like they're just copying them in some regard.
I mean, you guys got to understand this 343's, first shot of Halo. And I guess they want to go with the route that's popular right now. And right now, Call of Duty's selling, so.
Yeah, that's true. And
why change it?
And Call of Duty is on the top on Xbox Live constantly.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, like...
Next to Netflix.
Yeah. The thing is, though, like, Halo has its fan base, and Call of Duty has its fan base. And there's a lot of fans that play both games, but they both have their solid fan bases. I don't know. Do you really think it's going to make... Like, with the fans that they get from Call of Duty that might be interested in Halo now with this new perk system and whatnot, do you really think those are going to make a bit of difference when it might rub some people the wrong way that don't want to play Halo anymore because of it?
I just think they need to teach them the saying that if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, they can't keep putting out the same game all the time, but...
You can evolve it, but it just seems like they're just, like, really going after it now.
They changed quite a bit, yeah.
This is more than just kind of upgrading.
Let me tell you this. While we're talking about Call of Duty, this one will really... let me throw this in there before any more comments go out. Now certain game types in Halo have kill cams.
What?
So now you see the person that killed you, and they show them killing you, just like straight out of Call of Duty. And even some game types have that final kill cam.
That's always awesome, though, just to have. It's just like an added feature.
Yeah. And with the final kill cam, I love that. I love being, everyone loves seeing the last kill, especially if it's something awesome. With the kill cams, it's not going to be in all game types, so I don't think it'll be in like Slayer. I think it'll be. I know they've shown it for their mode Dominion, which we'll get into as a new mode, and they'll probably show it for like more like objective game types like that because I don't think it matters as much. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the more they think about it, the more it makes sense to go with the Call of Duty route. I mean, they have the Spartans, right? The regular Spartans, and then they have the elites, and then they have the the Prometheans or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, how are you gonna mix them all three together if like you have the original Halo game types? You can't really do that when you have 3 different guns that players can pick from, and 3 different grenades. So they kind of had to go with the loadouts just to mix all 3 of them together because I'm pretty sure they wanted to have all 3 together. So you have to go that route if you want to have all 3.
But the perk system? I mean...
Yeah, I guess they just added that just for, fluff.
Yeah.
Just remember how many kills I need to get the nuke.
Exactly, that's the thing. Right now, whenever I'm making a multiplayer game, right?
Yeah.
So whenever we're talking about it, it's like we want players to see that their their progressions keep like going up and going up. We want them to keep playing the game, and by doing that, you put this just this image of this graphic, like, oh, you're this close to getting this, unlocking this, or getting this, reward. You should keep playing just that one more game. Come on, keep playing, get closer, get closer. So I understand why they do all that stuff, but it's not needed. Not for Halo. People are going to play it regardless.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely understand that. I've taken game design classes as well, and yeah, you need that. You need the feeling of achievement, like goals to go out for. Like, I mean, in this game, they have the commendations and challenges as well from Reach, so it's stuff to keep you wanting to keep playing and keep going. And like you said, just one more till this. Like, it's constant reward. Like, you play and you get rewarded type of system. Whereas the whole ranking up 1 through 50, they didn't really offer that, because you would work for that rank, and then once again you'd lose a game and lose it. So it wasn't as constantly being rewarded and constantly unlocking stuff, etc. But yeah, let's get into the game type Dominion that I mentioned. It sounds really fun and it looks really fun. It's basically, since they don't have invasion in this game, they're gonna do a territory system where you got to take over bases. There's like 2 or 3 bases, and you got to take them over by going inside. There will be like a little hold X to take over this base, and it starts a countdown, which it shows you the countdown as it goes. And once you get the base taken over, you can build up defenses. Like, you can get auto turrets put on top of your base, and you can spawn vehicles and stuff. So it's really kind of interesting. And the cool thing about it, the way you win is if you capture all 3 bases, it starts the other team that doesn't, they have like a small timer to try and capture those bases, but if they can't capture it, then they get 1 life left, so they're on their last life, their current life, and they get overshields. And if the people that are winning go and kill all of them on their last life, then the game's over instantly. So essentially you could shut them out really quickly. If you're really good, it could take 4 minutes to go capture all 3 bases, then kill them all quickly.
Fuck that. I want to keep that game going. I want to build my base up to like be the ultimate defense thing.
You just want to build it up to like a scarab that walks around and just destroys everything.
Like, I'll get nukes, whatever. No big deal.
I'll kill everyone.
Exactly.
It'll be fine, I'm sure.
D-Day what is it? Whatever. I ruined it.
Forget it. Just abort that joke.
Abort. I like to abort now. Thank you.
Pull the parachute.
Yeah.
So that game type looks fun. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to mention that is kind of like Call of Duty. They have an ordnance system. Now they have Infinity Slayer, where the weapons don't spawn on the map. They come down in these little drop pods. As the game starts, they drop down in drop pods. So now it's a random placement of these weapons. I'm sure they'll find some way of balancing it so nobody just has rockets that get shot right next to them at the beginning of the game. That'd be pretty ridiculous. So they're still on select places on the map, but they're random, so you can never you can't okay, we all know where rockets is, so let's all rush rockets. You got to wait till the game starts, and that first couple seconds when they drop, then you got to make your plans, which I don't know how well that's going to work. It'll definitely be interesting.
That changes the game plan all over again.
Yeah, it's
like it used to be all about map memory or knowing where every pickup gun weapon was, kind of like Gears of War. Yeah, map controls, like, oh, we need overshield, or we need sniper, or we need shotgun or whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's like, nope, you don't get that.
Yeah, now you're just waiting for something, and then you just end up being like something else. Obviously,
pistol.
Yeah, well, none of the primary or secondary weapons are going to come in those. Obviously, it's all the power weapons now, like your sword and the saw and stuff like that, and the sticky detonator.
You get the rocket, you get the saw. I was like, all right, that's cool.
I guess I'll go with this.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's little ordnance or waypoints, so you can see what drops where. You can see the weapons on the map at all times, so now you'll know where sword is on the map. It tells you every single time, so that's kind of clutters the screen, but we'll see how well that works once again. But anyways, on the ordnance system, not only do the things randomize as the game starts, as you kill, it's kind of like a kill streak, where as you kill, you build up an ordnance meter, and once the ordnance meter fills up all the way, you can choose to bring a weapon. It'll have the down, left, and right on the D-pad, and left is one weapon, right is Our left is one weapon, like a power weapon, like a scatter shot, shotgun, and stuff like that. Down is a grenade, so if you need more grenades, you can get it through that way. And right will be like a power up, so to speak. Like they have where you do more damage for a select amount of time, where you run faster for a select amount of time, or an overshield for a select amount of time. So they're kind of like power ups, and they come through the ordnance now. And you choose these, so you press left, right, or down, and then it'll shoot down on a pod and land right next to you, so you can grab it quickly. So it's kind of like a kill streak in that regard, like a care package, except for if you die, it doesn't like reset your kill streak or your ordnance meter or anything like that. It just builds up over time. The more points you get from kills and assists, all of that stuff goes towards it. The medals you get goes towards it. So it builds up and keeps building up. So what do you think of that?
I think that's tight like a tiger.
Like a
What? I don't even know you talk.
Oh, he went there. It's like a tiger.
I think Leeper has a paper of the jokes he says.
Yeah,
he's just waiting for the window of opportunity.
He's just got a book of jokes.
I think you mixed that joke with the next joke you have. I think you messed them up.
He's like, all right. He crosses them out as he uses them. He's like, oh, tight as a tiger. I haven't used that one yet. Oh, that's good. Perfect.
He says, he's like, all right, not tight as a tiger.
I better say it right now. They'll love this. What do you think, Tyler? What do you think about it?
I think it'll be pretty cool. I mean, again, it changes the game quite a bit, but...
And that's just during their Infinity Slayer. They'll have normal Slayer. This Infinity Slayer is where they have the ordnance system and crap like that, so...
It'll be interesting. Like, I'll have to play it to really make a decision on it, but as for now, that sounds pretty cool. So, like, what you're saying is, it's like, you get points over time. The more points you have, the more you can use it, or you can only use it so many times in one game.
Well, your points add up, and it fills up all the way. Then you can use it, and then as soon as you use it, as soon as you get more points, it starts filling up again. So I don't think you can save it up and then like have like 5 drops at once.
I was gonna say, because that could get a little ridiculous. Just use it 12 times in one game.
Yeah. So yeah.
But, yeah, I think it'll be cool.
What game is this? I don't even know what game we're talking about anymore.
I know.
Halo 4?
Is this no? This is the new game that Microsoft's been working on.
No, this is the new Call of Duty game. But yeah,
new Call of Duty with Halo aliens.
Call of Halo.
Yeah.
Halo of Duty.
Call of Duty Black Spartans.
By the way, Halo fans hate it when you say it's from Call of Duty. Like they just can't stand it.
I mean, you gotta be
want to piss off Halo fans.
It's not even from Call of Duty. It's from modern FPSs.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shared, like when a game makes something that works, people are gonna take it. I mean, that goes throughout all games beyond just first-person shooters.
Just look at Blizzard; they're notorious for doing that. Oh, that's working for that game. Let's use it. Oh, Pokemon? Yeah, we can do that. Farmville? Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it's like that's just the gaming industry. I mean, everything's borrowed eventually. You see something that works, you use it, and you usually try and put your own spin on it. Usually, not always. Some people just rip it straight out of the
Halo,
game.
you'll be able to get mushrooms and become big.
Oh, I want that star, dude. Once you get that star,
you see a Spartan run.
Don't let him touch you.
That's Joe. He's a little.
He's off.
He's off a little bit. He's all sparkly.
It's those Halo wars.
The guy in last gets a blue shell and it finds the person in first place and just slams him.
Oh man, I can totally see that happening too.
Oh man,
Halo racers.
Another thing about Halo 4 is the maps, and the multiplayer maps look pretty damn awesome. I gotta say, look a lot better than Reach's. Did you like Reach's maps, Jose?
Not really. They didn't have anything amazing.
I thought they were really bland and plain compared to Halo 3's, Halo 2's, and Halo 1's.
We had Valhalla, we had Lockout, we had Midship, actual good maps, and then we had, I don't even remember what we had in in Halo Reach.
That's because they sucked.
Yeah, they were
Well, with
not
Halo
that
Reach
good.
was everything was taken out of the game.
Well, they were made in campaign and used in multiplayer and stuff,
Yeah.
so it was really, I don't know. They didn't seem like they were very good. I mean, I can't think of one Reach map that's going to be a classic that you're like, man, I hope that gets remade for a future game.
What's that one with the it has like 3 layers, I think. Pretty sure.
Sword base.
Sword
No,
base
that's
probably.
not Sword Base.
Um,
Sword Base was pretty cool. Countdown was pretty cool. Was it Countdown?
Countdown. Yeah, that's the one where it took place where the rocket ship takes off in campaign.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Is that the one you're thinking of?
No, that was another one.
3 layers.
With the 2 layers, and then there's a water fountain down the rockets.
Oh,
Oh,
Reflection.
you're talking about Reflection?
Was it Reflection?
That was the remake of Ivory Tower from Halo 2.
Oh, then it wasn't that one. I don't even know. I have to turn on my 360 to find out. I'm too lazy for that.
Do it right now.
We will wait.
Yeah. Well,
Pause. Go.
all right, we're gonna have a brief intermission.
Let's figure out what this map is.
But yeah, I don't know. Then if it's not any of those,
I mean, if it's not a map that I can remember by name, then it's not a map that I really care about.
oh wait, I think I know what you're talking about now.
It had like
it had that little waterway where
train.
the rockets spawn, like is.
Yeah, that had a
It's
train.
Powerhouse, right?
Was it Powerhouse? No, it wasn't Powerhouse.
Wasn't Powerhouse? Okay, because rockets spawned over in like this little waterway section,
Like
like
on
a
the
dam
left hand
almost looking
side,
thing.
it had stairs, and then you could have like 2 sniper nests, one on each side,
Man,
and then a right hand side. It had like a. Why am I saying right hand side? Like it doesn't even matter. It depends on where you spawn.
what did the map like visuals look like?
You were outside. It's like sunny.
Was it in Forge World?
No, that wasn't First World. I forget what it was.
Man, now I'm just racking my mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't
You know
any of the DLC ones, was it?
No. We have the internet. Why are we doing this?
Here, I gotta actually have a list of all the maps from all the games. So let me bring
You
that up.
start naming them out. Go.
Yeah. I don't have the DLC one, so there should only be 9. Let me bring it up here because we recently rated all the maps, so I have it all here. Okay, we got Boardwalk. Was it that one?
Boardwalk. There it
There
is.
you go.
I hated
Wow.
That one was that was the one that looked like it was kind of like on a cruise ship, almost atmosphere.
Yeah.
You like that one?
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, I didn't have a favorite one. I just didn't. I don't know why. I just didn't like any of the maps. None of them really stood out to me.
Yeah,
the
they
maps
all,
in this one though.
Like you said, when you take some of the best from Halo 2 and the best from Halo 3, it just none of those like stood up against any of them to me.
yeah, that's true.
But I don't know if that's the fault of the game, like it wasn't as fun as the previous Halos, or if it's just map design. I don't know. It could be a mix. I have no idea. But yeah, Halo 4 though definitely has some awesome looking maps. I don't really want to preview them too much because we're actually in the middle of a retrospective review where we go through all the games and review all the maps. So we're gonna be doing those. But I'll just say that they look. Yeah, they look pretty awesome, and they look like they're tons of fun. They've gone out of their way to say that they're made for they're making them with competitive multiplayer in mind. Like they're specifically making them for certain game types to work well. So
I mean, they have to.
yeah, and I think the reason why they're saying that so much is because Reach was so bad in a lot of people's minds in terms of map design.
Halo dropped them from their circuit. I mean, that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Halo helped MLG to get to the point where MLG is now, and he's like, "No, we're gonna drop you. Your maps suck."
Yeah. All right. Well, any other Halo 4 opinions or anything? I know campaign looks pretty awesome, but it's kind of hard to get into that because I don't really know a whole lot about it because that's something that I stay more dark about because I don't. I mean, I like to know as much about multiplayer as possible because that's for the most part why I play Halo. But
yeah, that's what you're gonna be spending all your time on after you finish the campaign.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know a whole lot about the campaign. I just know it looks like a lot of fun from the trailers I've seen.
I just find it interesting that all these games are taking all these new looks at their games, evolving it even more, and then mixing up other games into their game.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Battlefield did that a lot with, like, I mean, you look at Battlefield 2, or Battlefield Bad Company 2 is what I should have said. compared to Battlefield 3, you could tell they definitely tried to go the way of to try and take Call of Duty's audience in that regard.
It's not even the same game.
Yeah.
One of these days, we're just going to end up with a game that's just every game ever made in one game.
What the hell?
That's what Miss Pandaria is looking like. Yeah, WoW joke number 2.
Yeah. You gotta get that WoW reference in. I gotta get one more in before this is done.
Oh, I'll get away. I'll find one.
All right, well, yeah, I don't know what else to say about Halo 4. It looks great. It looks fun. Comes out in a couple weeks. We covered most of the multiplayer stuff from what I can think of.
I know I'm gonna get it. I'm a sucker for FPSs, and I know I'm gonna get it. And I'm probably gonna bitch about it at first, and I'm probably gonna stop playing it. That's all I gotta say. It's a vicious cycle for FPSs with me.
What's your favorite FPS? I should ask you that.
Of all time?
Yeah, I mean, I know you love Call of Duty, but is that your favorite?
Oh, why you gotta do this to me?
I mean, you got
Halo 2,
GoldenEye, you got Halo, you got Time Splitters, Counter-Strike, Battlefield.
I like Halo 2 because it was one of the first FPSs that I played like really competitively.
Yeah.
With like friends and family. Oh god. But then Call of Duty 4 just like got me really into like the esports like scene.
Yeah.
Involved my just thinking about video games very differently. I don't know. It's between one of those two. Probably Halo 2.
Halo 2 and Call of Duty 4?
Yeah.
Look at the bright side. Now you get them both in one game.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how I feel about that either. That's the thing. That's the worst thing. Like, I have both of them, but I can't. I probably won't like it. Because I like having them separate.
Have you turned to a gaming snob? Is what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, listening to myself, I was like, I don't like that. I don't like this. I'm like, oh God, what am I now?
Mr. Negativity.
There's so much negativity behind video games. It's so bad.
What's the last game you were hyped about? I should ask you that then. What's the last game you were hyped about and it actually delivered?
Let me look at my recent buys that I just got.
Because
Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh, God. You shut up, sir. You shut up. Probably Max Payne 3.
Transformers. I never played that. I've only played the first Max Payne. That was a lot of fun.
Transformers really delivered. Like the new one.
Fall of Cybertron?
Yeah. It was really good.
I've seen footage on that. I know a lot of people said that was good for being a movie. Like, usually franchise-based games like that aren't that great, but a lot of people had a lot of good things to say about that.
I didn't even know it was a franchise-based game until like they actually started going to the story, and it was like, oh, this is just really badass. You get to play Grimlock, who's a badass. And Optimus Prime is kicking the shit out of, what's his name? Can't think right now. Megatron. There we go. Probably those two games. Borderlands 2 kind of bored me out.
Yeah,
probably it.
I like Borderlands 2, but I don't know. I just don't feel like dedicating that much time to it right now, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like I could be playing it, but I don't feel like it's boring.
Did you ever play? Do you like fighters a whole lot? Beyond like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, like?
Nah,
none of that.
Street Fighters weren't really my thing. The whole button combination stuff.
Did you ever play Bloody Roar?
Nah.
That game.
Oh.
My third favorite fighter.
Bloody Roar?
Yeah. Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, and Bloody Roar.
Which Mortal Kombat? The very first one?
Probably my favorite one is actually the second one.
Street Fighter Third Strike. NBC. And then probably Mortal Kombat 2, yeah. As well. And then you got to play like at arcades was awesome. Even though I wasn't really good at them, I still like playing at the arcades.
Yeah, we actually just talked about in the last podcast we were starting A through Z, like every once in a while, whenever the hell we feel like, we'll do like a topic starting with the next letter. And we start off with A being arcades and just how unfortunate it is that arcades just are kind of dying off in a lot of people's minds, and it's kind of hard to find them. I mean, in the bigger cities, yeah, you can still find, a decent arcade, but where we live, Omaha, Nebraska, it's not we have like this crappy rundown arcade that's all ghetto and completely like everything, like half the machines don't work. Everything's all torn to crap, and it's just they don't get new games very often at all. It's just a horrible experience.
Last time me and Leeper were there playing pool, a gang fight broke out and we had to leave.
Dang, that's hardcore.
Peed on another guy.
They threw him off the top of the stairs.
Some dude peed on another guy?
Yeah. And the best part about it is the place is called Family Fun Center.
Damn, think some gangsta ass shit right there. Watch this, I'm gonna pee on this dude.
Yeah. Someone got thrown through a window.
Wow.
I remember that. The window was broken for the longest time. Yeah, when you go play Time Crisis there, you use real guns.
You shoot on the side, you shoot somebody in the chest. You shoot inside and reload.
Because everyone hung out after the fight broke out. Everyone just hung outside until people like the cops were coming, and then just like that, everyone was gone.
Oh yeah, that's how it is.
That's how the windows broke. They just jumped straight through the windows.
I'd be like, I ain't dealing with that.
People are dodging behind bushes.
Do you have any good arcades, like where you live?
No, I live in like I probably live like where you live in just like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we live in Omaha's a pretty big city.
That's true.
It's not like like a vertical, like it's not like a huge skyscraper city, so it's not like New York or Chicago or anything. But it's like a Texas, I mean, you know what that's like, where it's spread out like that.
Yeah, we got crime here.
So. But yeah, we don't have any good arcades, unfortunately.
I live in Charleston, the home of I don't even know what it's home of, but it's probably home of something.
It's somebody's home.
We got Myrtle Beach around here.
First shot of the Civil War.
Oh, we got that. We got slavery.
We got corn.
Yeah, we have lots of corn.
Yeah, we got corn and cows. We got those.
There's more cows than people.
We don't even have seafood. That's how sad it is. We don't even have seafood.
We just got Joe's crab
By
shop.
the ocean.
By the ocean. I don't even like the seafood here. I like the seafood in San Francisco way more than I like it here. But I don't think we have any arcades.
Or Sinister, whatever it's called. It starts at 10.
What's that?
Said I gotta go see Sinistral or Sinister, the new horror movie.
Is that? Oh yeah, that's the one. I saw a trailer for that.
That's kind of scary. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks scary, but I gotta go see it. It starts at 10.
What are you trying to say, Leeper?
That's fine. I was just about to wrap this up anyways. I was gonna give Jose a chance to plug anything that he wants to plug. I know he's got a streaming gaming channel and that kind of stuff. Lots of viewers. So why don't you just throw that out there?
Just follow me at Deleted at anything really. I'm at Deleted on Twitter, at Deleted on Facebook. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and then the same thing with Twitch. I talk about video games on everything. That's what I do. That's pretty much it.
It's literally what you do.
It's literally what I do for a living. It kind of ruins the magic sometimes. Not gonna lie.
Maybe that's what made you so bitter about games.
I think that it is the reason. Actually, I realized what it really takes to make a game, and it's kind of scary.
Cool, man. Go check out his stuff. He's a very funny dude.
Do it. You do it now.
Yeah, seriously.
Get off this podcast.
I'm not even kidding. I will find you.
Can I be a part of your game showing thing whenever I get a capture card?
Don't. You don't have to answer that. Don't listen to him. He doesn't matter.
I don't have a game. Not yet. Why are you telling my people my secrets?
He just ditches podcasts to go to movies.
He's moving on up, man. Come on.
He throws out random jokes randomly.
What, are you going to bury the guy on our podcast?
No. Matt knows I love him.
We lived together once.
Yes.
That one time.
Until you were ruining
twice.
Alright, well, if you guys want to find out any of our stuff, we're at youtube.com/GoombaStomp Show and facebook.com/GoombaStomp. Yeah, so...
Stomping Goombas.
That's what we do. Not really, but, we like to say we do.
I've stomped a Goomba once or twice.
How was that?
They made a funny sound, kind of similar to a rabbit when it dies.
That's not good at all. That's not funny. That's horrible.
Oh, that's a funny sound. It kind of sounds like a really sad, depressing sound.
All right. Well,
funny sound. Not funny like ha-ha, but funny peculiar.
Like, this is the longest goodbye we've ever had.
Yeah. So delayed in our rabbit stomping ways. All right, well,
Never stop a rabbit.
We'll see you guys next week. See ya.
Later.
Bye.
Later.